We are going to continue on in our creating series, really looking through the lens of really looking at our energy and how we're creating our experience on an energetic level. And the reason we're doing this at the level of energy is because that's all there is in the universe, is energy. And even Einstein said it, there's no matter in the world, in the universe. It's just energy that's been slowed down enough for us, for our senses to perceive it. So you wouldn't find a scientist, a physicist, an astronomer, any scientist in the world that wouldn't tell you that the universe is all energy and that we're all energy, and that what we are perceiving, what we are seeing, and how we are seeing and perceiving is all energy. And Nikola Tesla said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, vibration. So this is why we've been really looking at our energy the last few weeks, trying to get more in touch with understanding when our energy is shifting, when we're in negative energy, how our thoughts are creating negative energy, the addiction to the emotions of our past and the thoughts of our past that keep creating that negative energy for us. And so that we can be aware of it and then come back and really find that more balanced energy, creating the energy that we want, creating the life that we want through that positive energy. So in the law of attraction or the law of intention, they would tell you that if you are vibrating at a positive frequency, if you are having a heart-centered emotion of love, of gratitude, of kindness, forgiveness, that's what you are attracting towards yourself, that you are only attracting positive experiences, positive energy, that like attracts like. And while I agree that if you are living in your heart and you really are having these emotions of kindness and love and forgiveness and you're vibrating at a very positive energy, I would agree that you are attracting more good things into your life than you are unpleasant things into your life, experiences, people, events. But it is not absolute. It does not mean that we are impervious to unpleasant experiences. We still live in a world of opposites, regardless of how we are vibrating. And if we look at someone like the Dalai Lama, someone who I think any one of us would say, he's vibrating at a really positive level. He gets up and he meditates for 3 hours every morning, doing these tantric practices that I've told you about, that we've done in a similar vein, where he's imagining he's the Buddha of compassion. He's reflecting on the benefits of being kind to others, of practicing nonviolence, of peace, of seeing others as doing the best they can. This is what he spends his time doing before he even enters the world. And then he goes around giving talks, showing people how to not hate your enemy, China, how to really walk this path, how to turn the other cheek. And so I think if any of us were to be told that we would have to be in a room with the Dalai Lama for 5 or 6 hours, we would be delighted because of his positive energy. We like the energy that he gives off. We would suggest that he is vibrating at a very positive, high frequency, something that's attracting us, right? But it doesn't mean that he hasn't experienced awful things. Just what's happened to Tibet, by China invading, the genocide, the fact that a good number of people, a good number of Chinese officials would be very happy to see something happen to him. That a good number of people, Europeans, Americans, follow him around the world protesting, thinking that he's some kind of nefarious being. So just because he's vibrating at this positive frequency does not mean that he doesn't have unpleasant experiences. And we will still have unpleasant experiences too. We'll hurt ourselves, we'll get sick. If we're lucky, we'll get old. We'll lose people that we love. We'll lose jobs, we'll lose money, our cars will break down. This is the reality of the world we live in. But often when people are looking at this way of creating your life using the law of attraction or the law of intention, there's this belief that you're not supposed to be experiencing anything unpleasant. And so if you are, then you're attracting that, and you are to blame. And then think about that. You're blaming yourself. You're feeling guilty. I mean, what kind of energy are you creating at that moment, right? Then you're kind of getting stuck into more of that negative energy. So it's not about that we're not going to experience unpleasant conditions. We still experience them. It's that how we filter the information, how we're filtering all of this external information, how it's coming in through our senses, when we are vibrating from heart-centered emotions, kindness, love, generosity, and gratitude, when those unpleasant situations come in, and if they're just kind of mundane, kind of unpleasant, electricity goes out, the car breaks down, things like that, we tend to get over it much more quickly. We tend to see this kind of, oh, let's see what happens. Let's see what opportunities are here. Let's see where in this crisis is there an opportunity. And in fact, in China, the Chinese word for crisis is made up of two different Chinese characters. And on their own, one of those characters means danger. And on its own, the other character means opportunity. So out of crisis, there is danger and opportunity. And if you think of the Dalai Lama, again, what's happened to him, he would never have wanted what happened to the Tibetan people, that he would have to flee his country. But think of the tens of millions of people that he has positively affected by going around the world and showing us what it's like to practice nonviolence, by showing us what true peace, compassion, and wisdom looks like. Think of how we have benefited. How many people have benefited from that? And there was a story about a Thai man that in the tsunami in 2004, he was on the beach playing with his 3 kids. When the wave came, they all got swept away. He somehow managed to live, but his children died. And after several months of grieving for his loss, he had gone to one of the villages where they had really seen a lot of destruction, and was confronted with all these children that had lost their parents in the tsunami. I think they were all in one field working in particular when the tsunami hit. And all of these kids that were orphaned, and he started adopting them. He started with 3, and then he had 37 children that he adopted. And this is the kind of opportunity that he saw. And when he was interviewed, he said, I could not know a love that I experience right now from taking all of these children that lost everything, lost their parents, and bringing them in. My heart has never been fuller. I would never have asked for it to happen this way, but the opportunity was there, and he took it. And so when we are experiencing unpleasant conditions, they are going to happen on a day-to-day basis, just little things. The internet goes down. We got a charge that we weren't expecting. Something's a little more expensive than we were expecting, like just these little things to these even really big things. There's always an opportunity in there for us to grow. We wouldn't want to live in a world where if anything that we wanted, we got. We would be nightmares. We would be the most childish, spoiled people. It would be awful to live in that kind of a world. And this is often how this teaching is presented, is just think of what you want and you'll get it. That's not realistic, and we wouldn't want it, even if that's what we could have. Because as Nassim Taleb, in his book Antifragility, as he writes, humans are anti-fragile. And the example he uses is, if you break a cup, and of course we know through the wisdom of impermanence, the nature of the cup is to break, but if you break a cup, it's not a stronger cup because you broke it. In fact, it doesn't even have that function anymore. But when we get challenged, when things don't go our way and we have to rise above it, we get stronger. We are anti-fragile. These are opportunities for us to increase our wisdom and compassion. But it does have an effect how we are vibrating to begin with. If we're vibrating at a very low frequency, and there's nothing even bad happening in that moment, and yet we're just complaining and worrying and feeling like a victim, well, wow, when that unpleasant condition arises, we're just going to spiral even more. But if we're vibrating at a really positive frequency of love, of kindness, of gratitude, of forgiveness, of generosity, of patience, right? If we're vibrating at that frequency, when these things happen, when these external conditions, these unpleasant external conditions come in, they don't overwhelm us. We're just, oh, okay, all right, what can I do with this? What can I learn from this? How can I see if I'm understanding the teachings or not from this? And how can I wait to just see what's going to happen from this experience? Maybe there's an opportunity that I'm not yet seeing. And so when we view our lives in this way, creating this positive energy field, living in the heart, expecting the unpleasant conditions, they are going to arise. I will tell you, in my own experience, they happen less frequently when you're really in that pleasant energy field, because all the little things that we tend to get upset about just don't. But even when the big things happen, we get over it much more quickly, we're more resilient, and we look for the opportunity in the crisis as an opportunity to grow. And this is what we're doing. This is where we have evolved in this course, where we are creating our lives and understanding the energy with which we are creating our lives, of how we are seeing the world, how we are seeing ourselves, and trying to understand that energy better, but to also be incredibly realistic about what we're doing in each moment, what we are creating in each and every moment through the energy, through the vibration, through the frequency at which we are vibrating.